Okay, so last day demonstrated the same thing. In the left hand pane, we have the schemas. So those are several database schemas. Okay, as of now, you can see this is our default database schema. So whatever query I'll be writing, I'll be writing over here. When I'll be executing this thing, that query should be running under this schema. I can make anyone as default. I can make, I cannot make. It's totally my choice, but just like this is the option, set as default schema. Okay. As we are just practicing for this Teradata training, so I'm just preparing this one as my default schema. If I cannot make anyone as a default schema, what we have to do, I'll be just coming this point as well. Okay, I'll be just coming those points too. So let me introduce the language. What are the different aspects of the language? How to write the language and all. So basically SQL, that thing, the SQL means structured query language. I mentioned this in the first class for non-relational database to retrieve any tabular data or any table, to program any kind of tables, creation thing, dropping things, any data manipulation on top of this table, we have to use this query language. It's called SQL or SQL, anything. Okay. If we segregate those languages, we can see there are 5 scope to modify it, or 5 scope for different, different aspects. We are just dividing the SQL languages. Let me just maximize the screen. So there are DDL, DML, DCL, TCL, DQL. As of now, for today's class, we'll be focusing on DDL and DML. Okay. So what DDL do? On DDL, what particular DDL things, DDL languages can do for SQL. So DDL means data definition language. Okay. So in a particular database, the basic building block of the database is a table that I have mentioned earlier. So to create a table, we need to go ahead with DDL languages. Not only creation of the table, any kind of table structure related language, I need to go ahead with the DDL. Suppose a table is already there. I have created a table. A table is already there. So I need to alter the table. Means I need to add some columns. I need to drop some columns. Okay. I need to rename a particular column. I need to impose some constraint on top of this column. So this kind of thing can be handled by DDL. Even I need to drop the entire table from the database. So those kind of things can be handled by DDL. The full form of DDL is data definition language. So when table structure is ready means, as I mentioned in relational database, we need to fix the table structure first. That means a tabular structure should be having multiple columns. Okay. So we need to fix the column. We need to have how many numbers of columns should be there? This should be our first goal to identify the DDL languages. So when everything is fixed, we can go ahead with the create statement to create the table. So when DDL is completed, means our table structure is fixed, we can focus on row insertion or record insertion into that table. Okay, so that should be coming under DML, data manipulation language. So when table is fixed, table structure is completed, we'll be coming to data part. Okay, so we'll be inserting record. We can update an existing record and we can delete any existing record. So those 3 commands can be coming under DML languages, data manipulation language. Okay, so DML will not take care of the create statement. It will not think about the table structure. It will only think about the data insertion, deletion, updatation. Today we'll be focusing only these 2. Tomorrow's session will be, starting with DQL part. And the last days of the session will be covering DCL and TCL. It's very less important. DCL and TCL. Even we have very less scope as a database engineer, maybe as a developer or just like this. There are very less scope for these things. Uh, so let's focus on DDL and DML for today's session. Any doubts so far from anyone?
Hello. I think actually am I'm I had a doubt regarding truncate and delete. So what is the major difference between truncate and delete?
Okay, truncate and delete I'll be coming. Let's complete the DDS part. I mean, I'll be just going ahead with one by one statement over here. So yeah, just to ask, answer your question, truncate and delete. Truncate should be coming under DDL statement and delete should be coming under DML statement over here. But when I'll be just covering this thing, you can get more details. Okay, let me tell you, truncate should be on top of tabular structure. Both of the things functional activities are same. Truncate will delete the tables record, not all the table structure. Delete will also can do the same. Delete can delete tables record, not the entire table structure. But the thing is, truncate should be coming under DDL because in the when you will be running truncate statement, then in the backend, uh, it will delete all the records at a single go. Okay, so truncate should be much more faster than deletion. If you do not put any where clause for delete, it will delete the rows one by one. So it should be very slow. Although the function is same, the functionality is same for both of this activity, but truncate is much more faster for dropping the records. Okay, so I'll be coming this topic quickly one by one. Then I'll be just telling you this difference again. So mainly this difference is the main. Truncate should be coming under DDL, delete should be coming under DML. And if we just execute truncate, it at a single go, it will delete all the things, the metadata of the data inside the table, but delete will not delete at a single go. At the back end, I'm telling at the front end, maybe you can type delete delete from table, but at the back end, it should delete row by row. Okay. Okay, for the new resource, nothing to worry about. So I will be going ahead with one by one into my next slide. So first, I'll be entering inside DDL, data definition language. So over there, as I mentioned, four kind of things we can do over here: creation of a table, alteration of a table, truncation of a table. Truncate means just I mentioned, I can delete all the records from the table, although the tabular structure should be there in database. Okay, and finally drop a table. If the table is no more in use, then we can delete the table from the particular database. Okay, so that is the drop statement. Okay, so first go ahead with the creation of this thing. Creation means while creating a particular table, we need to think about how many columns we are going to introduce inside the table. What should be the table name? Even when we are introducing each of the column, what kind of data that particular column should be consisting. Okay, so what kind of data means the data should be integer in nature, the data should be floating data type or not. Float means we should be having some decimal places. I think you are aware what is float. I mean difference between integer and float. Varchar means string data type. Whether the particular data type of the column is having character. Okay, that is called varchar data type. If it is a date data type, means we are storing any date. Date is different. It's a different data type. So suppose I'm storing anyone's date of birth. Okay, so that should be coming under date data type. So just to mention this thing, when I'll be creating a particular table, I need to mention the data type of each and individual columns. Okay, whether it can be integer, whether it can be float, whether it can be varchar, whether it can be date, this kind of data type. Along with this data type, we need to mention the column length as well. Means I need to declare the maximum length of each of the columns. Suppose I'm just declaring one column with varchar, I need to mention the size of this column. That means the maximum size of the column is allocated over here. If I just try to insert more than the maximum size available, insert some record more than the size available over here, then it should throw an error. So that is why we need to determine how much big the column should be. I mean, what can be the maximum data type for the particular column to be inserted? We just need to determine the same thing and we need to insert the data in the same way. Another thing is called constraint. Constraint I'll be coming later a bit. It's a bit, we need to gather some knowledge, then I'll be coming to constraint. Okay. So till now, any doubt? Whatever we just told over here, any doubt from anyone? No doubt so far? Okay. So let's open MySQL Workbench. Okay. It's here. So this is my default database. So, okay, one more thing. If I do not have chosen one of the database as my default database schema, then I just need to mention while creation of the table or while mentioning any table, I need to mention the convention just like schema name dot table name. Okay. If I make any one as a default one, I should not mention the schema name because this is my default one. When I'll be typing any SQL query languages, by default, it should be pointing to that particular schema. Okay. Whatever I'm telling, just to repeat this thing. So I'll be creating a table. So I'll be going ahead with the create statement. The first thing I'll be doing now, create a table. Okay. So to create a table, we need to use the create syntax, create keyword, create table, table name. Okay. Suppose let's create an employee table. Okay. Create table, table name. This should be the command. Create is a keyword, table is a keyword, employee is a user defined table name. Okay. Put open brace and close brace. Over here, declare the column name one by one with comma separator. Okay, create table, table name, then put open brace and close brace. Inside that, put all the column names. Okay, so suppose I am a owner of a particular organization. I have lots of employees working over there. So what kind of data I'll be storing for that employees? First, there should be a unique ID called employee ID. I'm just putting emp ID. Okay, so while declaring a particular column name, we'll try to put it, as a single word. Okay, if we have to use multiple word, then we should not segregate those word, by space. Rather, we can put a underscore. This should be the best practice. We can put space. If we just put space, then we need to enclose this thing in a semicolon or third bracket, square bracket as well. But the best approach should be always use a single keyword, a single word actually. And if you are using multiple words, then put a underscore in between. Okay, that is why I'm using employee underscore ID, emp ID. This is my first column, and that should be integer in nature. Okay. For integer, there is a by default maximum length of 4 byte. So I'm not putting any size for integer as of now. Next column of what I can put employee first name. I'm putting this abbreviation EMP underscore first underscore name. That should be string data type because the data under employee first name should be varchar data type. Varchar, I need to mention a size. I'm just giving 50. So let's assume that none of the employees having character length more than 50. 50 is sufficient. Okay. Similarly, putting employee last name. Varchar 50. Okay. What other things I can put? Let's put employee experience, EMP, EXP. That should be under integer data type. Okay. Let's just create this table. It's very simple table. So I am creating this table having these columns only: employee ID, employee first name, employee last name, and employee experience. The last column, after the last column, we should not put comma. Okay. Comma should be just a separator between the columns declaration. That's it. As my default database is selected or chosen, you can see it's bold color. So I'm not using schema name dot table name. If you are not choosing any of the schema as a default schema, then you have to choose in this manner. Hi Sushma. Can you just, make yourself mute, please? Yeah, thanks.
Sorry.
No issue. Okay. Create table. I'm just putting, suppose whatever I was telling that if I'm not transferring any one of the schema as a default schema, then we can put the schema name dot table name. It should be working under that schemas only. Okay. So as I just make this one as a default schema, I'm not using this syntax. I'm just directly doing create table name and those columns. Okay. Let's select everything and execute it. Yeah, as there is no log generated, there is a log window actually. If we just click on this button, the log should be created over here. Log is successful. That means my action is successful. It's having the timestamp. It's mentioning create table and those things are successfully created. Okay, let's check from the database itself. I'm just expanding the database. In the table section, there is no tables as of now. Let's refresh it. I refreshed and I can see there is one table called employee. Let's select that and let's check. Yeah, whatever I have mentioned, it's there. Employee first name, employee last name, employee experience. Okay. So our first table called employee is created. Another way to check the employee table, it should be coming under DQL, but I'm just lending one of the statement from DQL as of now, the select statement. DQL is very powerful things. Inside DQL, I can check the tabular structure or tabular data anytime by select statement. Okay. I'll be coming to DQL maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow, but just let me tell you, how to implement DQL. I'm just taking one line and command over here, just like select star from table name called employee. It's a DQL statement. Select is a keyword, from is a keyword. Using star means I'll be printing all the columns from employee table. While learning DQL, I'll be going through this thing once more time. So no need to worry about. So I'm just showing this thing just to check whether employee is having all the columns available. Okay, so I just put select start from employee. This is my log, but the main output is coming over here. Okay, so you can see employee ID, employee first name, employee last name, employee experience. Those 4 columns are available over here without any records because I haven't inserted any records till now. Okay, so as of now, the log section is not required. So I'm eliminating this thing. If there is any error for my SQL syntax, then the log should be automatically popped up. Then we need to check it. Otherwise, no need to check log section as of now. Okay, so our first table is created, that is called employee. Okay, suppose what is the next topic? Create, drop. I'll be not dropping the table now. Let's do the alter statement. Alter a table. My table is created. I want to alter my table structure now. Okay, alter means I want to introduce a new column, or I want to rename my existing column. I want to drop my, I mean, a particular column over here. So any kind of column related thing. There is another thing called constraint. Constraint I'll be coming soon. So as of now, I'm just focusing on the main things. Then with a bit advanced things, what is constraints and all, I'll be just quickly coming. So any kind of tabular structure related alteration should be coming under alter command. Okay. So let's take an example. Let's create a new column called employee's age. Okay. Or employee's address. Employee's address is fine. EMP underscore address or ADD. How to alter it? So alter command is there. Alter table is a keyword. Alter table name. Add column name. Column name means a new column I need to introduce. Employee address ADDR I'm putting. And I need to mention the data type as well. Varchar, suppose 100. Okay. So alter table name. Add is a keyword. This is the new column I want to introduce, and this is the data type of the new column. If I just execute it, yeah, the execution is successful. Let's refresh this pane again, and I can see my table is having the new column, employee address. I can also execute the select query to check the structure is fine or not. Yes, the structure is fine. We are having the new columns introduced over here. Okay, one more important comment over here. So while writing the SQL query, okay, we can put, suppose the thing can be in your mind. I can put A, small a over here. I can put big A, capital A actually. Or I can put capital A over here and whether it should be impacting or not. Yeah, the SQL is not a case sensitive language. So from SQL side, it will understand small a as well as the capital A is the same thing. So unlike Java or Python, SQL is not case sensitive. It's very much user friendly. So I can put anything. I can put alter command, alter in this manner as well. A in small, L in small, T in caps. So there will be no issue while running the script. Okay. Just to let you know, this keyword I can change in this manner. But suppose I'm working with data inside the table. Okay. If inside the data, suppose I'm just inserting some capital letter inside the data is user defined. So data can be modified as, I mean, they can treat in some of the SQL query languages, they can treat capital of a particular block letter of is a different string, and the same column we are having another thing as a small string. So that can be different one based on data. But in columnar structure or maybe any keyword, whatever I'm typing over here, so those keywords should be always case insensitive. I can put anywhere. Suppose I can put employee O in caps, there'll be no issue. Okay, the things are understandable. It's a good, things from SQL side, so you do not have to think about that. While learning Python, you can see there are lots of restriction. We are doing lots of typos over there, maybe capital thing, small thing. I'm not aware of the class exact name. I'm putting somewhere the capital side, capital letter. Somewhere I'm using small letter. So we need to maintain this convention over there. But in SQL, no need to maintain this convention. So it's fine. Sometimes you can see each of the individual statement they are closing with semicolon. That is also fine. We can execute this statement as semicolon, we cannot. But the semicolon is very much necessary when you want to run the multiple statements as a single go. So you can select all the things and run this thing in an executor. Okay, I do not have this thing. Suppose I'm running this thing in a particular store procedure. Store procedure is another component where I can run SQL queries sequentially one by one. Then we mandatorily, put the semicolon at the end of the statement. Okay. As of now, we are just learning the sequels as a basic things. So no need to worry about these things as of now. When the topic should be coming, I'll definitely discuss the thing with you. So till now, whatever we have done, we have created one table. We have altered the same table to add a new column called employee address. Okay, we can, in the alter statement, there are lots of examples. Suppose we want to rename this particular column. Okay, so I can do this thing, alter table name, uh, rename column from employee address to, I'll be just renaming columns. I'll be not changing any data type, any sizes, anything. Suppose only address. Okay. Okay, it's renamed. Let me refresh. You can see address. If I also check it from here, you can see the last column has been updated to address. Okay, it's same. When I'm just doing select query, it's just nothing but this column should be coming over here. Over here, the column is listed as this format. Here, it's listed in this manner. So that when I'll be inserting record, it should be coming as this manner. Okay. So this is how alter statement should work. Suppose I want to update the address data type. I want some more, I mean, I hope, that particular address should be taking more than 1000 characters. So it should be 2000. So I can use modify, alter table name, modify, just put address and the size, varchar 200. Okay, it's executed. Let me refresh. You can see address has been updated to 200, varchar 200. So this is how modify keyword should be working. Modify will be helping us out to update the data type of existing column or update the sizes of existing column. Okay. So alter table name, then modify. We want to drop a column. I don't require that particular column, so I want to drop the column. So suppose address I am not requiring anymore, I'll want to drop it. So drop column. Column is a keyword, address. alter table name. Let's alter table name, drop column address. It's executed. Let me refresh. Yes, you can see the address column is not there anymore. This is how we are changing our table structure. Okay. So, just quick question for everyone who are learning or who are doing it by your own. So, any doubts so far for creation and alteration statement? Anyone? Dipti, Ramya? Okay, if there is anything, any stuck point, please tell me. Okay. Srikar, I think you are asking the questions. Srikar, I think you already know the SQL, correct? That's why you are asking the difference for truncate and delete.
And all no, actually, I was just curious, so that's it.
No issue, no issue. We'll be coming those topics quickly. But those things are understandable. Whatever so far we are learning, it's very
Yeah,
basic.
yeah,
Okay,
here. Yeah.
okay, fine, fine. Okay, moving ahead. I'm very slow for the beginning because maybe who are totally quite new for SQL, maybe you are checking the SQL syntaxes and also that is why I'm a bit slow. But please try to understand this thing because if you want to be a database engineer, this is the basic building blocks to learn SQL or SQL. If we do not learn SQL, then the further things, maybe there are lots of tools are available in the market, lots of ETL tools, but the basic thing over there should be always SQL. So that is why we need to learn how to create table, how to insert data into that table, how to do the select query based on different things as well. So that is why I'm a bit slow at the beginning to learn you how the things are working. Please let me know if there is any stuck point or anything. Okay. Now I'll be going at truncate a table. Truncate a table means truncation of all the record from the table. As of now, you can see there is no data inside the table because I have only introduced the column, no data inside the table. So if I just execute the truncate statement, you cannot able to see any difference. How the truncate should be executed? Truncate table is a keyword, truncate is a keyword, table is a keyword, put the table name. So each and individual DDL statement, we should be having this common thing. The main keyword should be create, can be alter. After that, there should be table. Create table, table name. Alter table, table name. Truncate table, table name. When we'll be learning drop, the same thing should be there. Drop table, table name. Okay. So create inside create table table name, we have created the table, alter table table name. We are altering lots of things. We checked it. Truncate table name, we will be truncating all the records. But as I mentioned, there is no records are there inside the table. So if I execute it, I cannot see any change because the table is already truncated for us. Okay. I just executed, but I cannot find any change because there is no data inside the table. Okay. Let's do drop statement now. Okay, before uh, checking with drop statement, let me show you one thing. If I execute these statements once more time, what should happen? Create table, table name. If I'm just executing it, it in the log section appeared with an error, the red color message. What is the error? Error code, the table employee already exists because the table is already existing. If I am trying to create this table again, So it will be throwing this kind of error. Why I should create this kind of table? It's already existed. So what I can do? I can create a new table with a new naming convention. So a same table cannot be existed in a same schema, database schema. I can create this table in other schema. There will be no issue. But the same table with the same naming convention cannot be existed inside a single database schema. Okay. So I'm doing create table and new table called employee underscore one. And the same thing, if I run it, the thing should be running successfully. You can see there are two tables, employee, another one is employee underscore one. Okay. But if I don't want this kind of tables, I want to delete those tables. I do not require these tables anymore. Then I need to use drop statement. Suppose I just, for example purpose, I have created employee underscore one. This is no more required. Okay. So I can execute drop statement, drop table name, employee underscore one. Drop means that difference between truncate and drop. Drop will delete the entire tabular structure from this database. I dropped it. So you cannot find this table anymore. If I drop the employee table, so the employee table will be also vanished from the database. So what happened? Let me select all and execute. Yes. So you can see in the tabular section, there is no tables available. Let's recreate it because we'll be doing data manipulation now. I recreated the employee table. So this is how drop table should be working. Drop table name, it will delete the table from the database. So these are all DDL statement. Create statement, alter statement, truncate statement, drop statement. Truncate, we cannot able to show this thing because we do not have any records inside the table. So first we'll be going into the DML statement now. If we have some time, I'll be going through truncate statement once more time. So this is all about DDL, but I'll be going a bit deep things with particular constraint thing. What is constraint? How we can impose constraint in a table? I'll be quickly coming. Just a quick idea. Constraint, just like one of the example of constraint is primary key. I defined those columns over here, but I'm not sure. Sorry. I defined this particular table. Inside that table, I have those columns: employee ID, employee first name, employee last name, or rather I can see over here. But I'm not sure which should be my primary key. I need to define my primary key over here. Okay. So this is one kind of constraint to that table. So how to impose constraint? I'll be coming this topic in tomorrow's session. I'll be just quickly touching DML statement today. Okay. So any doubt till now? If there is any, please tell me. Otherwise, I will be thinking that you all are able to understand it.
Yeah, Southwick. Southwick.
Yeah.
So while you are running the code, you are highlighting the lines that you want to execute, right?
Correct. I'm highlighting, I'm selecting this thing and I'm clicking on this button.
So let's say I wrote all these lines that you have now, like creating, selecting, and altering, and I select the alter table, those two lines, and click on the execute. What happens then?
Yeah, if I just select this thing, only this thing will be executing.
So the table is not created, and I selected and I run the alter. It shows error, right?
Yeah, it should be throwing error, definitely. The table should be existed. Then only alter thing should be working. Okay. Suppose I have only employee table. Let me show you this example quickly. Yeah, good question. So I have only employee table there. No other table is there. Only inside table, I have only employee table. Okay. Suppose I'm doing alter statement on top of suppose employee underscore one table. There is no such table existed. If I just execute it, you can see an error message just pop up. What is the message? Table teradata training dot employee underscore one doesn't exist. So as this is not existed, so no meanings of alteration. Okay. Similar
Yeah,
kind
got
of things for truncate and drop. If I just do this kind of thing, it will be showing table teradata training, that is the schema name, dot employee underscore one does not exist. Okay. So there is no meaning of doing this. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
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 Yeah.
I do have one more question.
Yeah,
So
Sushma.
when we are writing the code, we are mentioning like employer as EMP underscore last name, like that, right? So
Yep.
when we select a star from employee, why is it coming the all the employee names?
No, when I'm doing select start from employee, okay, select statement is a DQL statement. First of all, DQL will be covering in a separate day, but just quickly showing you DQ. When I'm just typing select start from employee, it's just showing us the entire tabular structure again with along with the data. Okay, so while creating the employee table, you can see those are the column: employee ID, employee first name, employee last name, employee experience. So when I'm just doing select start from employee, it would be just helping us the output of the table. Actually, whether this is the question or you are telling something different, Sushma.
No. So what I'm asking is,
Yeah.
when we are writing the code, we only mentioned employee in the beginning of the statement, right? To create a table, only we mentioned employee. But when we are writing the code down, so we just mentioned EMP underscore ID, employer underscore first name, like that we mentioned, right?
Yeah. So this is the
So
column name.
yeah, true. So when we are selecting the table to search employee, why is it popping up all these columns?
Okay.
It's
So
not
yeah,
like
that should.
employee full name, right?
Yeah, actually, this is the table name. Inside the table name, I have declared the column name as this thing. Okay. So in the inside the DQL statement, when I try to print, suppose a few column, suppose I want to print employee ID only. Okay. I want to print employee first name only. I don't want to see other columns. So I just select these two column, employee ID and employee first name. So instead of star, I'm putting this thing. If I just select it, just give me 1 second. What happened? Unknown column employee first name. Okay. There's a spelling FIRST. Okay. So instead of star, I put these two column. Okay. And it will be helping me out. The only these two column, not the entire star thing.
Okay.
So, but the thing is, you are mentioning that it should be coming with employee, correct? You are telling this thing
Yeah, because
instead
we
of
gave the full name, right? Employee, and
no.
it's coming.
Here we are not printing the table name. We are printing the column name only. You can see this is my column name, employee ID. If I put the entire
Okay.
thing as employee over here, then only it should be there. I'm not printing over here anywhere the table name. If we are just doing select query, it will be helping me out with the column name only. Those are the column name. That should be the header of the data set. Okay.
Okay.
Anywhere I'm not printing the table name. Over here, you can see if we just check from here, the table is there first and the columns are there. The same thing in employee. Over here, I'm not showing anywhere the table name as employee. It should be just helping us the tabular structure.
Okay.
When we'll be learning SQL. If you want to your wish is to update this employee ID, not EMP underscore ID, but employee underscore ID, the full name. There is another way called alias. We'll be learning this thing gradually when we'll be learning SQL. I mean DQL chapters. Okay.
Okay,
Data
okay.
query languages.
Got it.
Okay. Any other
Thank you.
doubts? I think someone. Yeah. Thanks. No doubts. Okay. I'll be just quickly touching insert statement because we already start late. I'll be taking 5 more minutes. I'll just quickly touch DML. DML is data manipulation language. So till DDL, we just completed data definition language, means anything related to table structure. So when our DDL is finalized, we need to think about data. Okay, because the table is totally empty. If we run select start from employee, we can see the tables is totally empty. There is no record or no row. Okay, so that is why we need to think about the DML language. This is called data manipulation language. It should be having 3 kind of statement called insert, update, delete. Let's start insert. Insert means insert some record. Okay. So how to insert the record? So insert over here, we do not have to specify table keyword. In DML, we should not have to specify table keyword. Insert statement, then table name directly. Or sorry, over here, it should be into. Insert into table. Okay. So this kind of statement should be there for when we'll be using delete. Delete from table. From should be a keyword. Insert into table. Okay. So this into keyword should be there while doing the insert statement. Insert into table. We can specify the column names over here. What are the column header name? We cannot. When we should use, when we should not use, I'll be quickly mentioning this thing. As of now, as a beginner, I'll be trying to insert without specifying the column name. But I need to think about the order of the column. Order means, as we are aware, the first column should be employee ID, second column should be employee first name, third column should be employee last name, fourth column should be employee experience. And we also need to think about their data type. Okay. Now let me insert the thing. Insert into table name. A keyword should be there called values. Open brace and close brace. Insert into table name values. Open brace and close brace, and the data should be inserted over here with the comma separator with the proper sequence. So we have the sequence employee ID as the first, this is second, this is third, this is fourth. So employee ID should be coming first. Suppose 101, this is our employee ID. One of the employees having this ID. I'm inserting one record over here. So this can be one employee ID. We need to be cautious. If there is any varchar data type, then we need to enclose this data within single quote. So employee first name can be varchar data type. So I need to place the data inside the quote. So I can put Atish, anyone's names, Atish, comma, third field, last name of this employee. Let's put Kumar. Okay. Atish Kumar should be the employee's name. And the experience. Experience can be integer data type. Let's put 6 years of experience. Let's quickly run it. Yeah, it successfully ran. So we should be having one record there. How to check? Let's run the same select statement. Yes. Earlier it was showing only the blank table. Now we are having one record now. After executing this DML statement. Insert statement. Okay, we inserted one record. Let me insert another record. 1 or 2. Suppose Kavya Kumari. Let's suppose she is having 8 years of experience. Yeah, it successfully executed. Let's check the data. Yeah, you can see we have 2 records available now inside the table. That is how we can able to insert record insert row inside the table. Okay, that is how DML works. Do you have some time so that I can cover the entire DML, or should I cover it the next session? Because we already exited the timeline as we already started late with the hosting issues and all. If you have some time, I will quickly cover the DML statements. All of you have some time?
Yeah, I have no issues.
Anyone? Okay, I'm just covering the DML quickly. It should be hardly take 5 more minutes. Okay, insert thing is covered. Insert means how we are inserting records. So when we inserted the records, if we want to manipulate something with the inserted record, suppose I want to manipulate it. Suppose I mistakenly put this experience as wrong experience for Atish. Okay, so then we need to use update statement. Okay, so update means it's similar kind of things for alter. In alter, we are altering existing table structure. And in update statement, we will be updating existing record. Okay, so you're already having those records. Suppose you want to update something, this experience for Atish, then we need to update it. Before doing that, one more scenario I want to tell you about insert statement. Okay, why data type is important over here? Suppose in employee ID, I have mentioned this thing as integer. Suppose I'm inserting something called A over here. A is not a integer, it's a varchar data type. If I'm just trying to insert A instead of integer data type for a integer column, because employee ID is an integer column, but I'm trying to insert a wrong data type, that is varchar data type over here, it should be throwing error. So this is the key role, incorrect integer value A. Okay, so that is why we need to be much more cautious. What are the data types of the column of the table, and we need to insert similar kind of data inside the table. Okay, let's insert 103 quickly. Ram, put Pandit, anything. Okay, 10 years of experience. So I'm inserting the third records. Okay, so let's quickly check the thing. Yeah, the data is there. 3 records are there. I'm deleting this alter statement. It's no more required. Over here, I'm just going ahead with update statement. Update is a DML statement where I'll be going to manipulate the first record's experience. Okay. Now update keyword, how it should be working. Update table name. Okay. Set is a keyword. Set employee experience equal. Suppose 6 should be 7. Okay. I want this thing should be 7. Okay. Now I need to specify this particular column. If I just execute this thing, update employee table, set employee experience equals 7. If I just going to execute this thing, all the experience should be updated to 7. Okay. So I need to specify which row I need to update it. So I need to introduce a new thing called filter. So where should be a keyword where employee ID equal 101. Okay. So I'm updating this thing only, this row. Or I can also put where employee first name equal Atish. Anything I can put. Employee first name equal, as Atish is a varchar I need to mention this thing in a single quote. Otherwise, it will be throwing an error. Okay. So while selecting this kind of records or this kind of data, this kind of element, we need to mention this thing within quote. Okay. So update employee set employee experience equals 7. This one where first employee first name equal Atish. That means this particular row. If I do not mention this filter, it will update the entire column's value to 7. If I'm mentioning this thing because I'm checking the particular rows, I'm just letting the particular language, the particular row I need to update. For this rows, employee experience element I need to update. That is why I'm putting this field. Okay. This is a good interview questions. Why you need to use where clause while doing update statement or while using delete statement. Executed it. Let's quickly check the record. Here you can see the experience has been updated from 6 to 7. That is how the update keyword should work. It should update any existing data. Similar kind of thing for delete. Delete statement will delete some records from here. A few records, a single records. This is totally based on this filter as well. But delete too. Delete from, a from keyword should be there. Delete from table name. If I just execute it, it will delete all the records, which is similar to truncate. While learning truncate, I told you, truncate will delete all the records. Delete will also delete all the records. But in the backend, delete is a very slow operation. It will it will delete the row one by one. Suppose we have thousands or millions of records, then we can check the difference between delete and truncate command. Okay, so if we have millions of records, you can see delete can take maybe half an hour time to delete it. But truncate should delete all the table, all the records within few seconds. Okay, but delete should be used for particular sets of records. Okay, so delete from employee. But if we just execute it, it should delete all the records. But I want to delete this record 103. I mean, this particular employee has left my company, so I don't want that particular employee. I mean, I don't want to maintain that particular record into my employee table list. So I need to delete that particular employee's name and the entire record. So I can do this thing, delete from employee. I need to specify the particular row in this manner. Maybe I can identify the row by this first name, because first name is not a good approach. The particular first name can be there for multiple employees as well. Suppose I have thousands of employees. Maybe I have duplicate name Ram for my employee organization. So that is why I need to pick up the ID column while doing this kind of operation. This is the ideal approach. Okay. Employee ID equal 103. So delete from employee where employee ID equal 103. Yeah, it's successfully executed. If I check the thing, you can see one of the record has been deleted. This is how delete should work. Okay, so those are the 3 DML statements. Let me quickly go through the truncate once more on top of employee table to show you how it should work. Truncate table name. Let's see the table once more time. You can see there is no data. Okay. So that is how the DML statement should work. We have covered insertion, updatation, deletion of the records inside the table. So DDL is totally focused on the tabular structure and DML is totally focusing on the data inside the table. This is the main difference between DDL and DML. So those are all about the topics. Sorry for taking much time. Yeah, a few of the resources dropped off as well. So any doubts so far from anyone? No doubt. I'll be closing the session for today. And tomorrow I'll be connecting with the rest part for the DDL and DML. Any doubt from anyone?
No.
Okay, yeah. Thanks then everyone. Bye bye. Let's connect
Thank you.
tomorrow.